Hey, Aries, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your July 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Aries, I am getting a strong Empress energy for you. So some of you may be working on creating a new opportunity in life. Now, this could be the birth of a child, the birth of a business. It could also be new abundance coming in. Some of you may also be feeling very intuitive, very nurturing, or you may be taking strong care of yourself or even another at this time. You have the law of attraction as one of your themes for the month of July. So be mindful of what you are focusing your energy and attention on, because also that Empress energy, she is very creative, and she can turn that garden into abundance by focusing her attention on the garden, right? So whatever you're focusing on has the potential to grow into, well, it looks like legacy here, but to grow and to expand. There's the energy of expansion here. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords in reverse. This could be about truths coming out. This could be about getting honest with oneself. Some of you may have gone through a situation where there was misplaced loyalties. Ooh, okay, that's what I'm getting here. Misplaced loyalties. So some of you, that could have been yourself or another, but you are in the energy here of filling your own cup. Financially, emotionally, physically. And I say physically here as well because you also have the R&R card, rest and retreat, for one of your main themes in July. So you could be finding some time to possibly travel, take time out. If things have been very busy for you, excuse me, very chaotic, if you've been carrying many responsibilities or burdens, this is the month to take a little bit of time for you. Spend outdoors, spend in the sunshine if you can. Find your relaxation place or your peaceful place. Some of you may even be heading towards some form of spiritual retreat, or that could be in the books or in the plans or in the makings. Yeah, I'm getting a spiritual retreat. And I just heard Fiji. Okay, who's going to Fiji? Take me with you. There is an energy also of travel via boat or water. So maybe this is a cruise. Some of you, maybe you are spending time on a lake or near the water, the ocean, the rivers. You also have romance showing up here as one of your key themes. So I am feeling with this energy here of romance. If you are single, perhaps there's new love coming in. I see the soulmate card here. If you are partnered up and things have been challenging, things have been difficult, this is a month where things seem to back off a little bit, whatever that may mean for you. Maybe there's been a lot of conflict between you and your partner, or there's been a lot of back and forth. I feel like there's some sort of truth or conversation that is had this month that allows you to resolve a situation or to reclaim your power. Okay, reclaim your power. And for those of you that are happily in a dynamic, I do see that there could be family travel planned. Okay, ooh, that one came out right away. The village. Some of you could even live near and maybe there is like the villages. I know there's a place in the United States, I believe in Florida, something around the villages. So perhaps you live near a place that has a specific name like that, or that may mean something to you, the village. Maybe it's a place, a restaurant. You also have flexibility showing up here, Aries. So we're going to dive in. There is a shake-up, a little bit of a shake-up coming in. Now, not in a tower type of way, but a shake-up to bring some sort of balance. And it may feel a little bit uncomfortable at first because bottom of the deck, you do have conflict with awakening, but it's here to ascend your energy. And I am getting, for a lot of you, you've gone through or you're currently going through a spiritual awakening. Now, we can go through many spiritual awakenings. Sometimes we think it has to be, one big awakening, a near-death experience, or, a divorce or something tragic. But I feel a lot of you, this is about taking a look at something from a new perspective and working with the energies here of also what you've learned in the past. Okay, so you're being logical and you understand now the inner workings of a situation or how the energy works around a situation. And therefore, you're finding some sort of conflict resolution. You're overcoming an obstacle that you've had. And some of you, this has to do with a belief system. You may be looking at some triggers at this time. There may even be adversity in the family, in the workplace. You're rising above though, and you're reclaiming your power. That's what I was feeling here. And you have the awakening card. This is Phoenix rising. It is opportunities here to alleviate some sort of competition. And you also have opposing views. And for some of you, it may be a family member or someone that you work with could have a completely different perspective, and it feels like a bit of a tug of war between you and this person, but you may be searching for some sort of common ground with the flexibility card, or some of you are setting a boundary, because it's interesting. We start with the King of Cups and we also have the King of Swords here as well. So I see that there's compassion here, but someone may not be as loving or as open or as nurturing as maybe you are here, Aries, or vice versa. Okay, I feel like there is a heart opening. I mean, this could be one person embracing two energies of opening up the heart after feeling a hard belief or a hard no. They may be coming back to reconsider and say, well, maybe it shouldn't just be no. Maybe I should be more flexible in how I proceed, how I move forward. So this could be a boss, or it could be a family member who's been very strict in their beliefs, very rigid. I'm getting rigidity here. There may have even been an issue around a neck. Someone could have worn a neck brace, maybe a stiff neck here, or just that energy of stiffness, something with the body, maybe the muscles being very stiff. Some of you, that could be you or another person. But yeah, you are finding conflict resolution because your final energy is the Two of Pentacles, which is about balance. You see that she's standing on a teeter-totter, right? And she has the Two Pentacles above her, creating that infinity symbol, which is what goes around comes around. It is coming full circle, but it's also an opportunity here for unlimited abundance. What do you want to manifest within these energies? And how can you utilize, how can you work with the resources here, even when something comes in and threatens to throw the scales off balance? Because you can see that the cat's coming in the background, and not that the cat, is going to throw that teeter-totter way off balance, but it is going to shift things. And so I feel like there is going to be something that does throw things a little off balance, but it's not like it's tons of bricks coming in here and you're going to fly up and it's, going to cause a tower moment. This is something subtle, but you're still going to be able to look at it and deal with it a different way. And this is why I feel like it's not what's coming at you. I feel like it's how you respond to the energy. So for example, in this Two of Pentacles here, Aries, you see the cat coming down, stepping on that teeter-totter. And in the past, it may have felt like a tower. It could have been the same exact thing, and it felt like a tower, but the way in which you responded or handled the situation contributed to the energies around it. And it may have amplified, it may have been like fire and gasoline, whoosh, right? And now you're dealing with things from a heart activated energy, a logical mind. You're creating more balance. There's more balance. So even if that same situation were to come back around, instead of it being the fuel or the gasoline to the fire and really blowing things up in your face, I feel like you are finding conflict within the situation. And it's almost like you bring the balance here. And this could also be something that is a very wonderful gift, skill, and trait that you have acquired because you've learned how to deal with these things. I also get for some of you Aries, and please take it as it resonates, you could work really well under pressure. You could work in a professional setting that does have to do with emergencies. Okay, maybe you work as an emergency doctor or nurse, or you work in some sort of mental health, or you take 911 calls, something of that nature. But I'm also getting that you are highly spiritual. A lot of you watching my channel are highly spiritual, and you are reclaiming your power. And that could be part of your power here, is to find balance, equilibrium, and create and leave behind a legacy. You have the Ten of Pentacles here in your reading. And with this being at the bottom of the deck, maybe this is untapped potential within you, or you're still undergoing this major transformation. But what is coming out of this, Aries, is significant for you, especially in the month of July. Now, we do have Law of Attraction. Some of you may even be reading books by Esther Abraham Hicks, or you may be looking into the workings here of maybe the Law of Attraction, The Secret. You may be creating a vision board, or you're just mindful, or if not, maybe this is your cue to really be mindful of the energy you're putting out into the universe, because what you focus on grows. What you put your time and energy and attention on is going to build momentum, build energy. So stay positive, right? Positive affirmations, but also don't sweep things under the rug. There is a thing as toxic positivity, right? We can pretend that nothing is wrong, and then we ignore it, and then that can come back up and be that gasoline. And I don't feel like you're doing that. Maybe that may have been a part of it in the past. You didn't want to address it, but I see that you are willing to do things differently this time around. A lot of you have matured, and I'm not talking just in age. You've matured with experience. You've matured in many, many different ways. I'm also getting a message here around the body. The body. Some of you may be working on your body image, or there's some sort of self-love or self-acceptance around body image. Trust that you are beautiful inside and out, and love yourself inside and out, and take care of yourself, whatever that means for you. And I feel like you having this abundant mindset and also this focus on self-love is really going to empower you and give you that extra boost of confidence that maybe you've been lacking in the prior months or even prior years. This is magnetic energy. And some of you have the spotlight on you, Aries. There's this shift coming in where I see all eyes on you. Don't shy back, or don't let your mind talk you out of something that your heart wants, because we see the heart here with the King of Cups. we see the mind here with the King of Swords. And I've been talking about this lately where our emotions, our feelings, bring us that momentum, right? Give us that extra boost to take action, but it's the mind that talks us out of it. So if this is a relationship that you want to go for, it's something that you're starting to feel intense emotions towards, and you really want to move forward and take action, but the mind says, what if you're not good enough, right? What if they don't like what you have to offer? And I feel like the what ifs start to come up, but you're doing things differently this time around, and you're accepting all of you. And the law of attraction is putting you right where you're meant to be, because you've ascended your energy. You've awakened to some triggers within yourself. And I also see that you could be meeting people through some sort of spiritual practice this month. If you're traveling, vacationing, this could be new friendships, new companions, even if you only talk to them for 30 minutes or maybe 3 minutes. I feel like these interactions are going to propel you and give you that boost of confidence. And I'm getting that energy of confidence. So some of you, there has been a little bit of a confidence issue or factor, and you are opening up to some changes, and those changes have to do with the boost energy here. Now we have romance involved. This could be marriage. Some of you with the R&R, this could even be a honeymoon, a getaway. It can be about strong bonds, unions, desire. This can be passion, trust, love, intimacy. And we also have soulmate there. And I thought I seen the word soulmate showing up. Yep, soulmate right here in the love cards. So someone is dealing with a strong soulmate. And flexibility may be required at this time. Because if we have two masculine energy doesn't mean that you both have to be male. It could be the case, but it could be two people that hold high, drive, high action, high, viewpoints. They are the givers possibly, or the people that may be striving at times, even for perfection. I feel like there's a lot of drive that someone has, but it is important to find that balance between the head and the heart. Yoga. Some of you could be going on a yoga retreat, or you could be taking a yoga class. I'm getting yoga in the park, yoga outside, yoga with the goats. Okay, let's do some goat yoga. Now we also have adaptability, change, and these two cards came out together. So I feel for a lot of you, there is a divine detour when it comes to your love life. And we'll take a look and see what that may look like in a moment. Now, they also said, look at the third one. I usually pick up the bottom 3 cards because that gives us an underlying energy of what's going on below the surface. And we do see rising above conflict. That's that awakening, maybe even putting an end to some sort of conflict because we have learned the lesson, we've grown. And look at your third card is milestone. This is accomplishment here. It's victory. There could even be a ceremony, a graduation, a wedding, a reunion. There's a passing of the test. This could be a universal test even. And maybe that's why you have the law of attraction, because you're understanding in this very important law, right? And there is a reward at the end of this. There's a promotion or achievement or a level of success that you're hitting here. I'm also getting the name Anne. Sue and Beth. Anne, Sue, and Beth. Now, I don't know if that's a trio of sisters, if that is someone's middle name, or if those are separate. Please take it as it resonates. Some of you may be in insurance. Okay, you could be an insurance agent. You may also be swapping out maybe insurance policies. This may have to do with life insurance, wills. I'm getting wills. Someone could be preparing for the future. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're 30 years old and you're setting up a will. That is something I feel like preparation for the future. And that makes sense because you also have the 10 of Pentacles here. This could also be car policies, vehicle insurance, camper insurance, boats, things like that. You could be swapping and looking for a better deal, okay? Or yeah, asking around for a better deal. I feel good about this energy. So if that's something you've been thinking about, you could get the best deal this month is what I'm picking up on. Now, some of you may have been micromanaged by a boss, by a lover, by a family member. I feel like you really started to get anxious. There's an anxious energy. I mean, why wouldn't there be when someone's breathing over your shoulder, watching your every move, right? Micromanaging your every step. This could also be something that you yourself have worked on. Maybe you're a boss, maybe you're a mother or a father, and you've really worked on releasing control. I feel like if this is someone else, though, this could be that King of Swords. King of Swords can be very intimidating. Or even the King of Cups in reverse can tend to give at times, and it can show up in a form of micromanaging. I feel like that may be what's coming to a rest, or that is what you may be resolving with this conflict, right? Because this can be opposing views, it can be competition, and I feel like we're finding more balance here in the month of July. We have debt, but we also have saving money. So I like this showing up because for some, I mean, nobody likes debt, of course, but I like that you have saving money in the same few cards, because some of you, I'm getting the energy of that insurance again. Now, maybe it's not insurance exactly, but it is about you finding a better deal, or maybe consolidating some sort of loans, getting a better interest rate. It could be paying off some debt so you have a little more money. I feel like there is a balance here, or a wash. And that makes sense with the Two of Pentacles here as well, because something that, you didn't have the money for, or it was, really taking a big chunk out of your pocketbook. I feel like you're going to, again, find a better deal, or there's going to be another bill that you pay off, and maybe you're able to not have to strap it in for something that does cost a little bit more. I mean, this can be mortgage, it can be car insurance, it can be credit cards, it can be anything with debt, right? But you're saving a little more money this month, or you have a little bit more money going in your pocket, or there could even be a raise or a promotion that allows you to not feel like you're so far in the hole. I also get, because we have the Ten of Pentacles, some of you could be paying off debt or getting ready to retire. There is something here about being able to have the money that you want to take the next step. So financial security, financial abundance. You've been working really hard is what I'm getting here. So yes, retirement, I want to say even within the next 5 years. And it doesn't mean that you're going to retire and do nothing. Maybe some of you, if that's your goal, but for some of you, it's travel. You want to retire, you want to travel, you want to be with other like-minded individuals. Some of you want to fall in love or spend time with your loves, your partners, your people. But I also feel here that you have some sort of benefits. Some of you may be working for the benefits here, or you may feel like you still want to achieve some level of success. Okay, for those of you that work in the corporate world, you may be looking into insurance such as PTO, pension plans, health insurance, flexibility, rewards, parental leave. There could even be some sort of certification that your company is paying for you to acquire some sort of knowledge or expertise. For those of you that are business owners out there, I feel like you could be looking at insurance for your business. You could also be looking at a flexible schedule, what works best for you. I'm also seeing that some of you may have a dream, or you currently work remotely. You work from anywhere in the world, or you can. But I feel like you have benefits coming in here in some way, shape, or form. This could also be marital or spousal compensation of some sort, child support, disability. This could be VA. I feel like there's some additional benefits that you may be working on getting at this time, or it may have been stressful to try to get this money, but I do feel like it's coming your way. All right, let's look at the tarot. King of Cups. King of Cups is the main energy starting off. So you're starting here with an energy of an open heart. But it's been difficult to open your heart up because we go through experiences that we just want to shut down sometimes. And that's what this King of Cups sometimes does. You see that he's on an island all by himself, right? He feels like he has to get to that safe spot. So he doesn't readily allow people to enter onto his island. He has his little scope there. He's scoping things out, right? He can see who's coming to his little island before, they get there, because he doesn't want to be scarred, hurt, wounded. You see that there's a mermaid in the background. There's a dolphin as well. And the cat's catching all the little fish, playing with the fish. So there is a lot of emotional intelligence here, as well as patience. So sometimes the King of Cups keeps people at an arm's length until they get to know them, until there's a level of trust built, until he feels emotionally secure. And this person could also be in the healing or caring profession, where they have to be not just level-headed with that King of Swords, but they also are in some sort of career or relationship because they hold a high level of compassion for animals, compassion for humanity, for helping others, for being of service. This person could be a doctor, a nurse, a therapist, someone who's worked on getting in touch with, what's most important to them on a heart level. This is someone who you can trust, right? This is someone who, they know their stuff. They've risen above the fray here in some way, shape, or form, but they've been hurt, right? King of Cups, he's been hurt. He's been taken advantage of. He has been pushed to the limits at times. And sometimes that's why he takes his little island and says, all right, I'm just going to go over here and do my thing for a while. And some of you may have done that because communication may have been blocked. 8 of Wands is showing up in reverse. There may have been some sort of delay. And I almost feel like that delay has to do with the King of Cups being, on that island. It wasn't easy to get to the island. It's not like you can just jump in a car and head to that island, right? Symbolically, you have to either swim, or you have to wait for the next ferry or take a ship. And I feel like that is what had caused some sort of delay because of either resources or trust, or just waiting for whatever it was you were manifesting to get to your island. And you're holding up the cup here. You're ready to emotionally invest. You're ready for this renewal. You're ready to allow yourself maybe a new connection of some sort. And I feel really good about this. But there has been a teeny tiny delay, and I feel like that is getting worked out. It's like the kinks in a situation are finally getting worked out after either no contact, not hearing from someone, or you maybe needed to just heal, go off on your own and heal. And now you can see what's coming at you, and you can tell someone or something from a mile away, like, nope, you're not welcome on my island. My island's gonna sink with your energy here. There's another one over there. And I feel like you've set healthy boundaries for yourself, and it's allowing you to really go far. Okay, you have the Chariot smack dab in the middle of your reading. July is Chariot Cancer season, right? The majority of July is going to be in the sign of Cancer, which is Major Arcana Chariot. When the Chariot shows up here, this is forward movement after a delay, right? This is finally something, the mermaid getting to the island here, the fairy getting to the island. It's like you've been really excited. You've been on the Titanic, right? Maybe not the Titanic. You don't want to go under, but you've been seeing that there's land after being at, being on the water for quite some time, and you're ready to go explore. And some of you could even be going to an island. Okay. Maybe you're going to some sort of traveling to some island, but I see that after a period of being very excited or wanting to open up or wanting to feel emotions towards something, here it is with the Chariot. This is going with the flow, but it's also about ambition. For some of you, this is absolutely travel, but it's also about feeling more vitality, more energy, more momentum after a time of maybe healing or taking care of yourself. Okay, some of you were burnt out. There was a lot going on. I mean, the Eight of Wands is a very fiery, very spiritual energy. It can be about manifesting, taking something from the spiritual and bringing it down to reality. And there may have been a delay or a block in a manifestation. And now there's free forward movement here. I'm kidding, free forward movement. Now, for some of you, it may have to do with marriage, legacy, career, retirement. We have the Ten of Pentacles showing up next. It is in the upright. This is beautiful. You see all the pentacles there. You see the wonderful background. It has the dog and the cats and the children, and there's a sense of togetherness. There's fruits on the vine. There's a beautiful home in the background. The Ten of Pentacles is stability amongst family, amongst your finances here. This is wealth and building a legacy. It's your long-term goals. The Ten of Pentacles isn't, built overnight. This takes years and decades to get to this point. And for a lot of you, Aries, you've come to a very pivotal portion of your life where some of you are going to start enjoying more the fruits of your labor and finding that family is important here more so now than ever, or, attracting a soulmate where it does lead to marriage and long-term growth. I mean, whatever the Ten of Pentacles is for you, this is also my card of privilege. And this has been showing up often. I've been saying this whenever the Ten of Pentacles comes out. And I don't see it necessarily here for you, but because we have the King of Swords, I am going to bring it up because some of you could be dealing with an entitled person. The difference here between privilege and entitlement is gratitude. And when we drop into that heart center and we have gratitude for all things, that is the game changer. But when we feel entitled, right? We feel entitled to some sort of compensation, or we feel entitled to, a relationship. We should have that, or we must have that, right? That can be the King of Swords as well. That blocks that gratitude, and they stick to the sense of entitlement. I feel like that is a big game changer. So be sure that you're dropping into gratitude, and that is going to attract even more abundance, whatever abundance may be for you. So keep that positive gratitude type of energy when it comes to all areas of your life, and you're going to see the miracles unfold. Now, why do we have the King of Swords here? I feel like there is a beautiful balance, right? I mean, yes, some of you could have been dealing with an arrogant, narcissistic, person who could have even been high authority, could have been dealing with the law, a legal situation. Some of you, this is military, very routine, very structured, emotions set aside. This person does not allow other people to get to their emotions. They're can be hot-headed, can be level-headed, depending on where the King of Swords is at. But because your final outcome is the Two of Pentacles, it's like there's a balance here. There's a balance between the head and the heart. And when we find that balance between the head and the heart, it allows our soul to really shine through and move forward with the Chariot, right? To move forward towards our highest good, towards our creative endeavors and our service to humanity, and to open ourselves up to relationships and community, things of that nature. And because this Two of Pentacles is here, I also feel like you're finding balance amongst your finances. This can be about multitasking. It can be comparing, right? Some of you may have two options here, and you may be considering, do I take the logical approach? Do I follow my heart? Find balance. Because again, that's when the soul comes through. Because when we have so much emotion, we can make emotional decisions that sometimes we look back on and say, well, maybe I was under emotional distress and I didn't make the best decision. Sometimes if we're so logical about a situation, it can even talk us out of, right? We can say, no, I'm not going to take that leap of faith. It's silly. It's not logical. I could lose a lot of money. I could lose, my stability, my independence. It's right where you meet in the middle where miracles happen. And that's what I see manifesting here. All right, let's look at career, finances, wealth. You do have the Frame card, beautiful. You also have the Crown. This is overcoming obstacles. And remember, that's what showed up at the bottom of the deck here. Because we have the Coffin, this may have been a bad investment. No wonder you have the King of Swords coming in. If something did not turn out in the past and maybe you did lose money on it, or you were fired, you were let go, or you went into that job thinking it was going to be great and you worked with a bunch of crazies, or whatever it may be, right? I feel like there's a little bit of fear, but the good news is there is an overcoming of fears, of obstacles. This is about savings, right? Some of you had went through some financial challenges, job loss, or a change in monies, okay? Change in money. But I feel like you're recovering here. 10 of Pentacles. I mean, there's definite recovery coming in after some sort of loss. Some of you, this has to do with inheritance. Some of you may work in either a morgue, or you may work with the elderly, the dying. You may work in some sort of maybe even line of work that doesn't feel like there's a lot of growth. Okay, or that may have been why something ended. I'm also getting researching. Some of you could be researching, is there growth in this area? I also feel like you've shifted. You've shifted perspectives. You've shifted and closed the door on something of the past, or that could be what you're working on. And this is about overcoming obstacles with the Crown. Someone may have gone through a little bit of a power play, maybe a little bit of a wealth trip, a money trip. Some of you may be a boss, an owner, or you were dealing with an owner who had created some obstacles. This is taking charge, making progress. And that's what I see showing up with the Chariot. For those of you business owners out there, you may be really opening your heart up to finally moving forward after a little bit of a creative block or some sort of delay. And look at that. The Frame bringing in new energy, steady income. Because something didn't feel steady here with the Eight of Swords, or it felt like there was a backlog, or some of you may have been backlogged, or work, like you were out of work, you didn't get paid as much. Some of you were on some sort of leave, compensation. Okay, I feel like money is moving forward again after a delay. Some of you, this is also about achieving some sort of accomplishment here. Maybe it's in the form of, a certification, something that you would hang in a frame here. This could also be art and design. Some of you, it's home oriented, or you are creating sacred space to really grow in your self-employment, or within your business, your hobbies, your creative endeavors that you could be making money off of. Okay, I see that there's additional training or education here as well. I mean, if you are a nurse or in the healing profession, there's constantly new things to learn. And I feel even if your job or your business doesn't require a certification, you're being asked to go back and learn something, maybe from a new viewpoint, or actually getting certification, or taking a class on Teachable or Udemy or any other platform. Maybe it's just listening to an audiobook where you're able to learn more, but also taking what you've learned and turning it into gold. There's something about being able to utilize what you've learned and what you've went through to bring in more abundance. All right, let's look at love. What do we have here for love? We have release the past, release your ex for some of you. Some of you are like, Mel, done that a long time ago. That's okay. The time has come to clear your energy. And if there has been any sort of conflict with a past person or even triggers. Now, for some of you, whenever you hear this, it doesn't mean that you're physically still connected to a past ex, but it could be those triggers. It could be the self-worth. It could be some of those memories of what you were told, right? Why you feel like you're not good enough, or the lies, or the abuse, or whatever it may be. If that is still showing up for you in some way, shape, or form, I feel like you are being guided to release that energy, work with someone, work with your shadows, work with finding solutions to overcome this energy. You have here, let go of control issues. That could be that King of Swords. Didn't we talk about that in the beginning? Something around control and needing to have it, it's their way or the highway. This can also be attachment styles. Some of you may have an attachment, an anxious attachment, or an avoidant attachment. You may want to look into that when it comes to romance or comes to love. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. That's what the Chariot does, right? The Chariot doesn't, pull so heavily on those reins that it causes the horse to fire up, right? Sometimes it can, if there's so much control that there's not a lot of room just to allow something to move forward. And I feel like that's what someone may be physically, emotionally, mentally letting go of, is control. That could even be you, Aries, where you're letting go of a situation because there isn't the best solution, or maybe there's something that you're not able to rectify, and maybe that is going to bring in a divine detour. We have 3 final cards here. Oh, I love these. This is for those of you who are either happily committed or maybe you're looking for love. This is worth waiting for. Okay, something is worth it. It's going to be worth it. Divine timing is at work in your love life here. You have soulmate and you have passion. Yes, this is your soulmate, right? There is an energy here of things happening, maybe even after a delay, after being in an energy for quite some time. Finally, there's communication. Finally, you've met the love of your life, the person you're going to marry, or, there's passion after not feeling that heart energy for quite some time. It says, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Beautiful. All right, what do we need to know from the soul's truth for the month of July? We have, what are the dominant emotions running my life? So we really looked at that King of Cups. And for a lot of you, I feel like you're trying to find balance, again, between the head and the heart. But if you feel overly emotional, allow those emotions to flow through you, right? Don't hang on to them, because then they become, stuck, stagnant. We can manifest dis-ease. How do you fill your day? Because this also has to do with the law of attraction card that came up. So I'm going to put these 2 together here. How do you fill your day, Aries? Stress or joy? Trust or anger? Anxiety or peace? We have only today, right now. The journey, no goal, no destination will bring us the feelings we seek. But when we begin filling every day for that which we value most, for that which we're most grateful for, we attract more of it. That is fulfillment. Today's action, lean into what you want to feel. Okay, this is part of your soul work assignment for the month. Lean into what you want to feel and adjust your life, your values, and your expectations to match your desires. What do you want to feel? Are you willing to let go of the belief? There's the King of Swords. So we have the King of Cups leaning into what he wants to feel. He has his little scope there, scoping things out. How do I want to feel today? I want to feel awesome. So he's going to look for awesome. He's not going to let the mind come in and distract him. Letting go of the belief that you have to achieve it to feel it. That is the key here. Some of you, that's going to be a big reminder this month. And next we have, am I communicating my needs? Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Today's soul action, journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe that my needs matter, and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, what am I resisting and with whom? And what do I need in order to feel safe enough to express those needs? That could be that dynamic between the King of Cups and King of Swords. We have to create a level of trust, a level of safety, and a level of security to fully feel like we're able to open up and get on that King of Cups, get on their island, right? All right. Now we have two cards that came out here from one of my absolute favorites. It's the Wild Unknown archetype. And we're going to take a look. We have the Village showing up. And that really stood out in the beginning of your reading because, again, some of you could live in maybe it's I almost said group home. Okay, who's living in a group home? Some of you could live in some sort of space that, again, is called the village. All right, we have the hometown, the family, the tribe. And I feel like this is, I mean, we'll look at the crone as well if we have time here, but I feel like the village goes hand in hand with that 10 of Pentacles that we see. It says the village presents us with a conundrum. On one hand, it's the place that feels most like home, the place to which you can always return. Nostalgia and comfort draw us back. On the other hand, it's the very place you must leave in order to grow. Around the village, an unspoken boundary exists, one most villagers do not want you to cross. Though some support your leaving, still hear whispers of doubt as you venture beyond its borders, leaving them behind. The energy of the village is present anytime we feel restricted by a certain group, community, family, place, or ideology. It may have served us in the past, yet staying within its parameters will never satiate our thirst for life. Thank the village for all it has provided, knowing you will someday return. For now, the world awaits. So I'm getting a very strong energy of, that finding that balance, right? Between the head and the heart here, between not talking yourself out of something. So this has to do with your safety or your, being in the box, like stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's exactly what this is about. Returning to the village is as important as leaving it. This can be thought of as a completion or an integration of what you learned out in the wild. So are you coming back home, or are you being guided to leave in energy? I mean, that's completely up to you. You're the one going through this integration period. When this is showing up in the light aspect, Aries, it's intimate, it's rooted, it's intergenerational, it's communal. When it's showing up in the dark aspect here, it's small-minded, it's gossipy, it's trapped, it's restricted. If you want to go deeper in this energy, take a look at Haruki Murakami's Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. I'm not sure what that is, if that's a book, if that's a poem. That must be some sort of artistic endeavor here. All right, and lastly, the village moves with you as it is more of a mindset than a physical place. Yeah, the village is more of a mindset than a physical place. And then lastly here, we have the crone. And your reading is getting quite long here. I do apologize. Hopefully you're still with me. We have the crone. This is the witch, the old woman, the sage. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of maiden mother crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Her energy resides in all of us, though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre awakening. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. This is very psychic. And like I said, a lot of you are very spiritual. You are very psychic. You're intuitive. You're wise. You're magical. You're clairvoyant. And when this is showing up as entitlement, remember what we said earlier about privilege and entitlement? If this has to do with maybe spiritual gifts or anything really, it can be vindictive. It can be when we feel entitled, it brings about the energy of bitterness, isolation, ostracized, vindictive, right? Cast aside. And I feel like a lot of you are rising above that energy. So if you've dealt with the crone in reverse, people who felt entitled, that is what you are leaving behind. It says if you want to go deeper, Dumavati, Hecate, Baba Yaga, and Lilith. Those are all maybe deities or people that you can look into. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night, the moon. And the crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if it means a more solitary life. That's exactly what this is here, Aries. You're not dealing with superficial relationships. You're not dealing with, bratty entitlement. Even if you're dealing with someone who's 70 years old, if they have the energy of the crone in reverse, I feel like you are rising above and you're looking at it from a perspective that isn't judgmental, but it's that you don't even attract that. You don't have time for that because you are on a different wavelength. And that's why you have the law of attraction here. You're done repeating some sort of cycle or generational even, because this has to do with generational. So for some of you, it's family. You're breaking the mold. You're breaking out of that comfort zone. You're doing something differently. I'm also getting a generational, and I don't use this word, and I'm only going to use it because of the crone. Generational curse is kind of what it feels like, right? And it's just that you have been the one that is meant to break this cycle. And I feel like you are going to, and you're actually going to leave behind a legacy for many. That is what I have for you, Aries. Very intense, very long reading. I hope it does connect with you in some way, shape, or form. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and happy July.